I'm calling to order the regular Board of Directors meeting for May 21st, 2026 of NOSD. First item is approval of the agenda. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor of accepting the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Yes, we have several. I don't know if those individuals would,
We're down to one.
Yeah, we're on.
Michael Miller.
Michael Miller,
I think he's the one that never acknowledges.
excuse me?
I think he's the one that never acknowledges.
Okay. All right. If, are there any public comments? There being none, board questions, comments, and discussion. All right. If there are none, the next is review of the minutes of April 16, 2026. Regular board meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Discussion.
I did not notice anything when I approved them this afternoon. They seemed accurate to me.
If there are no changes, all in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. April 30th, 2026. Well, let's see, financial documents for review.
So I'm correct in my reading of this that we have had no new hookups for a couple of months.
Are you on March?
Who's on April?
Oh, you're on
Correct.
April.
We had for March or,
Yeah.
Leanne, have we had 2 for May so far?
Okay. It seemed odd that we had it's spring and no one's hooking up, but I guess they are now.
Okay, it was listed as a separate item, but the April 30th, 2026 financial documents, can I have a board motion to approve those documents?
I move that we approve the April
30th.
30th budget document. Budget
Second.
summary.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? So do you have any comments or anything to bring up? I mean, we're 2 months from closing out the year,
Right.
so.
We're pretty much on track for what we put in the budget. That's for the code. But I'll get into the board, we only have one.
If there's no further discussion, all in favor of accepting the financial documents of April 30th, 2026, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved unanimously. And then we have the April 2026 board audit accounts payable for review.
So we bought a training package for the crane truck. Is that what we
Yeah,
did?
so we have two crane trucks now, and they require ocean change rules, so even our small crane truck that we've had for 25 years, it required, training, for crane operator training, so we all are certified now in crane operator training. And this was for both trucks, for $2,700. And it's with an on-site training.
Or anything?
Hand signals.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah, we had to go out and perform tests on our actual crane.
Hmm.
And so he graded each one of us.
Do you have any pictures?
No, you wouldn't want to see the pictures of us. The new kind of controllers on the big crane. So.
I don't know, I'd pay good money to see you up on a crane.
Yeah, a lot of people would.
On page 2, the automation group, and it's the 14,992. It says monthly telemetry maintenance.
It's how they list it.
There's more to it, but
Yeah.
it only
Okay.
will show so much.
So it would be like a comma after monthly.
That's what I'm assuming, the way it looks like.
Well, yeah.
So only $1,100 of this is the monthly telemetry maintenance. The rest of that is for something else. But it only shows you so much.
Is it for
of
the new
description.
For a new copier?
Okay.
The other thing I'll bring to your attention to also, North Coast Lawn is going from 900 to a little over 1,200, but we added pump stations on for maintenance. The crew is getting trained on the new, GIS system for the camera truck, the camera van, so we're gonna start using that a lot more and start GIS system. Especially after the incident we just had last Saturday up on Phelps. So,
Any,
Lab dishwasher died, I see.
I think that's the one where the springs, they had to repair the door on the lab dishwasher. And we've had some small equipment right here, the, effluent sampler, temp sensor, we've had a DO meter go out in basin 1, but I think that's gonna be on next month's, audit.
Raincoat for Nick and propane.
Just, you know, I have nothing to do with how they list it. So.
It's a fun read.
Well, they're very limited on their space to try to, what happens is you'll get invoices from the same company for different items. When the office cuts the check, it's all one check. So it's not one project or one job, it could be multiple things in there. Yeah.
all right. If there's no other prep questions, district report.
So treatment plant running well within its permit limits. We do lab, VOD tests for the Potomac Bay. We've been charging like $40 each, but we're having a hard time because it's only an influent test. They run what's called a step system. So their BOD load is heavy. So it's really strong. Okay. And we're having a hard time getting their samples to come in using their seed. And so we are changing the lab to where we're going to buy a lab seed. It's basically a standard, let's call it. It's lab controlled, and it makes the test, should make your test valid. So whatever the numbers come out for the oxygen depletion will be accurate. Right now it's falling out because we can't take their seed down low enough in a small enough sample volume to put into the bottles. And so it's depleting it too far because it's too strong. So Brian talked with the manager of the Port of Tillamook Bay for having to buy more of our distilled water and this chemical. And the chemical is only good once you mix it up. It's good for 200 tests, but you only have 6 hours to use it in. So it's really not that much. Say it's $3, it's less than $4 per test to do that. But the increased cost, so we raised their testing to $100 today. They agreed to it because it's gonna up our cost as well for lab materials. So they need to cover all that. And we might start using it here for our VOD tests as well if it works out well. So that's not in the report because we just got it all done today or discussed today. Collection system. I know Simeon has been CC'd on some of this with 1600 Portland Avenue. They are removing 2 of the plates.
Yeah, they say they are.
Well, they have to. I just today got the drawings submitted by their contractor, and they're limited to 12-inch side. They have put rock back over it to stabilize the hill. So all that's coming out. I spoke with Chris Lady and Brian Ollie, and I agreed with them that we need to leave the steel plate that's right abutting Portland Avenue. They dug that down so far that if we pull it out, there's no way to stabilize the road. Mm-hmm. You can't stabilize the road. You can't stabilize the sewer lines going down the hill. So that one, Chris wanted to make sure we could work around that if we had to. He said they could. And I think we could as well. Worst case scenario, it does on both and it can be removed. So they are removing it. I did see that. I'm not sure if you got CC, but I did that Grove, Grant Grove or whatever.
Right, Grove's construction.
Yeah. So he did send in to the county. I was CC'd on it as well. So they are moving forward and removing all of the irrigation, landscaping, everything that goes down through there. I'm not part of the lower part where they got to remove that staircase. They've already moved some of the boulders that they encroached over and buried our sewer line and into the road easement. So I don't know if you're aware, Jeff, or not, but all that's getting removed.
Yeah, I'd had some talks with Chris Lady and
Yeah. So
they're
that's
starting to furnish it now,
Yeah.
so
that
shan't be
just,
long.
that is still ongoing, but it looks like the property owners are not fighting to keep all of that, what they put in there.
I haven't seen any.
There has been no movement
Yeah.
yet. They're not going to pull anything out until the county approves their new submitted drawings. And they're also required to go to planning and get permits. So you probably won't see a shovel in the ground for a few weeks yet.
Okay.
But you should see something soon. I think you forwarded it to me as well as from Melissa, but the portable food cart coffee thing is back on. Don't really understand. It's reading like it's going to be temporary. So do you have any, because I'm asking now, it's not part of our report. Are they going to put it there part-time of the year? Are they taking it out?
That's kind of what I'm reading is that it's gonna
Is it-
stay mobile
Yeah,
and I'm hearing rumors that there may be another one across the street from there.
yeah, there's a second one, but I haven't received anything. So
in front of the old Bigfoot.
According to the county, health, that has to stay, recorded as a mobile cart. So they can't pull the axles out. That's probably what this is meaning.
Yeah.
It's not clear on the paperwork, on the submission, I read it, but it's labeled as a mobile, so if they're doing the same thing like the city of Tillamook does and Rockaway, they have to leave the carts in them so they can stay mobile.
Yeah.
Even though they may never move them again, they have to remain as mobile.
I haven't really delved into all the permits or all the requirements, but I'm guessing there must be some advantage to leaving the axles and
Well, it's a requirement because if they take the axles out, according to the health I talked to in Tillamook, they said if they remove the axles, it becomes a permanent structure in their eyes. They can't take the tongue off of it and they can't remove the axles. I didn't know if you had any more information on
No.
that. Okay. So this is back on. I kind of thought he'd thrown away, but it's back on. I haven't seen the application yet for the new one, for the second one. But I was told by them that there was a second one coming.
that'll get us on another hookup.
Yeah,
What's the timeline?
I don't know what the timeline is. I know Champs have their own property there. So whatever they have to do for permitting to
The
get
problem's
the
gonna
right way.
be the permit office is getting so backed up because the summer's coming. So permits are.
So I don't have an ETA, but there's a sewer line there. They
Do
can
we have
tap
to get
into.
a policy in place before that?
We got the policy in place for,
Grease
requirement of, yeah,
Yeah,
grease.
but wasn't there something else we needed, like a new charge rate?
So I was looking around at the, Pacific City, Rockaway, Garibaldi, rest of those. They use it off the water meter, just like we do. So their water meter, and that's their rate. So they're gonna have the standard 5/8, I think, water meter, which gives them the $95 a month.
Okay.
Which I'm fine with because the VOD loads coming out of coffee carts especially
Mhm.
is higher on the fog than it is for even a normal house.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with the rate we're charging them.
So we don't need a special rate.
No.
Okay.
I haven't found any other city I know that have mobile phones in that have a special rate. They still go off the water meter size.
What about the SDC?
The SDC stays at the normal single family.
They would still owe.
Yeah. Yeah.
The,
The other ones have cheaper SDC than we do, but it's the same SDC. They so much, I think it's $1,200. That's what they charge the carts in there too. Rockwell, I don't remember the amount. I mean, it was 5,000.
so we would end up charging 13,000 plus.
It'd be treated as you see with any other single family dwelling. The only thing that single family dwellings don't have that we had to address was the grease interceptor, the grease trap, making it mandatory for the mobile carts.
Okay.
Which got that done. Well, I think you're gonna approve it. I don't tonight, right? Yeah. Saturday, May 9th, Brian received a call. He notified me that a sewer line on Phelps was plugged. And when we got there, there had been some issues. Phelps is one of our most difficult ones to locate because the as-built aren't accurate. And houses on the east side of the road have been added onto since the Phelps line extension was done. So.
This is it John Henry's or is this up the road?
No,
Oh,
up Phelps,
Sorry.
around and goes to the dirt road, brings you up to
Yeah.
the yellow gate to Simpson.
Okay.
Where we had the problem with all the people driving through there. You're sort of. So anyway, drilling company was informed by our operators. There were some questions on the markings, the locate markings. And, I wasn't down there when it was all done. I had questions in my head about if the markings were done by code, like they should have been on top ground. But I didn't find out until afterwards that the operator told the directional driller that sewer line is 6 feet deep. So it doesn't really matter where the mark is, as long as you stay above the 6 feet. Operator was informed that they were drilling at 4.5 feet. But so we had an excavator dig it up on Saturday, and their drilling stem was still stuck through the lateral. So we had to get them to come out of Eugene, and the contractors working for PUD, they're bringing conduits back into Netarts off of this substation, and they drilled through it. They came there. There was a little bit of a heated discussion between me and the owner of the construction company, and we made them pull the drill stem out. I made them pay for the plumber's bill. At that time, I said, I hired Lenny to dig it up so we could reinstate the lateral, but we had to cut out 18 inches of line that they had broke, because when that drilling stem went through it, it just cracked and shattered the line. So we had to cut out past all the breaks. So they're not accepting responsibility for that because they're saying the surface marks were off. Problem is, I found that out throughout the week as I did an investigation on how this happened. Our fault, their fault, whatever it was, and they're leaning on your guys marked 2 of them wrong. So, they're not accepting responsibility for going deeper. I looked at the size of the reamer. That company owner didn't know anything about directional drilling. So I said, even if you had not hit the line and just had missed it, when you reamed back with your 14-inch reamer or 16-inch reamer,
14.
you would have taken out the water and the sewer at the same time. So they were in the wrong spot. They should have gone deep. We've been down there. I don't know, you probably noticed you drive by, camera van and all of our locating tools have been down there almost every day with them to ensure they hit no more sewer lines and have no excuse if they do.
So did they agree to pay for the plumber on this one?
Yes, well, no, at first, but I told them that either they paid for the plumber or I was gonna report it to the board to have them pay it all. But I don't know what money's gonna charge us. I wouldn't be surprised if it was around $2,000. So that's still pending. I don't know where that's at, but they are now drilled past all that and all that's covered back.
Sounds good.
Like I said, I think we're out there. There was some discrepancy on the locating marks. This is another reason that we're going to, the guys are going to, when we get the new upgrade in the next 45 days, we have a new computer in it now, but they're building the software package. But we're going to go GIS all of those. Because we also have a couple of ejector units on that road too. And we don't maintain ejector lines, but we still have to locate them. So we have to know exactly where they are on GIS. The main pump station, we're still working on that. We thought we got it fixed on the flow fail on the pump 1B. And now it's intermittent. I mean, we've made gains on it, but I know it's something to do electronically, something that a sensor that's reading it wrong, and trouble with electronics like that, it's hard to trace it because you got to kind of be there when it fails to find out what it's doing, what's going on. So we're making headway on that. Pump station has been in service for 15 years. We're starting to have soft start failures. Soft starts are around 10,000 each. We've already replaced the one, and the insurance company replaced the one that blew up when we had the problem with the pump. And we're probably going to have to look at start updating it. We can get those rebuilt, but it takes a long time. It takes weeks to get them. The new ones, the replacement ones are actually on the shelf. You can get them in just basically overnight. And they're actually cheaper than rebuilding the old ones. So we'll probably start phasing those out. We're having a problem with 1A, 2A. We're having a problem with another soft start. So we do have a rebuilt one there, That's the old style, but we'll eventually start changing those out.
So this has a backup on it, so when it fails, it's,
When the soft start goes out, the pump shuts down.
yeah,
And those are 3-phase, 480 volt. So we can't go in there. We're not licensed electricians to open that panel up and change that. But usually we can get the automation group up here within a day or two, and they can swap those out. The effluent pump station that's here on site down below, we lost a pump in it. We pulled it out, we took it over to Xylem, they tore it down, I got the report on it. It literally costs more to rebuild it than to purchase a brand new one. Now, the 16,000 is a low price. Usually those pumps are 21, 22,000, but I requested a 30% discount from them since I was shocked that I got 28% off. So it dropped it down to 16,000, which made it a no-brainer to not rebuild the other one and just replace it with a brand new one.
and that's something that also has a backup on it, so when one pumps out, we.
There are four pumps in that effluent pump
Okay.
station. So there are two,
Two and
11, well, there are two 11 horse and two 15 horse, I think, two larger pumps.
14 or 15, yeah.
Yeah, so it's built that way for high flow. So if we get a lot, like when we get the 1 million+ gallons of flow in the winter time, there's times that sometimes all four of those pumps run at once.
So when is this gonna take place?
So 6 weeks, it has to come from Sweden, so it's 6 weeks out to get it. So we probably won't literally see it till the end of June or the 1st of July.
And in the meantime, we're okay. with the
Yeah,
other three.
we're under summer flows, really, really low. So
Would it be quicker if Jim and I went to Sweden and picked it up?
Yeah,
So it's actually being built,
be no
right
problem.
now it's being built for, it's a pretty popular size pump. So they're hard to keep on the shelf. If it was 15 horse or larger, they usually have those in stock. And you can usually get them that week. So that's the estimation. I don't think it'll
Long
come
way
out
in
of,
Sweden.
I don't think it'll come out of this year's budget. That's probably what I'm telling you too. on the budget.
We'll need the district credit card, John.
Yeah.
So, I already covered the treatment plant. Capital improvement on number 4, Lower Avalon Pump Station. Electricians are finishing up where they're putting all the equipment and conduits. Only thing slowing us down now is I need Spectrum to come there because of where it's at. Try to use radio telemetry. We can't. We're trying to phase that out. We would need an antenna that would be 40 feet high, which I'm not sure the neighbors would like that. Plus, they really can't guarantee good radio service. So internet, like the main pump station, would be the way to go. Only Spectrum needs an address. We can't get an address for the lot until we have a building permit application.
Have you checked into Starlink? Just out of curiosity, we're using it at all the stations now.
No, I have not checked into Starlink, trying to get ground wired due to storms and interference. It's like the radio ones, it's the storms, the trees, we can get interference and we don't know if it can stay on. You have less failure rate with cable than you do with anything wireless. And
We've never dropped Starlink. We have Spectrum go out all the time, but I'm just letting you know our experience has been, Starlink's been 110%.
well, the electrician and our engineer talked about Starlink, so they're checking in what equipment that would need and what the availability is on that, and they're working with Tag on that. I'm doing the one of the ground, the Spectrum.
I was just letting you, you won't need an address. That's why I brought it up.
Right.
You can just give them a proximity.
Yeah, they're already checking on that, so I'm tasked with doing the other one. They're checking on that. And we have to know that where to run the conduits, so they don't place anything in the way. It's not gonna delay the pump station because we'll just pick a spot and that's where Spectrum will have to run their conduit to go in. We received the title for the crane truck. we're having it logoed, and OSD would be put on the side of it. There's some minor repairs that we've had to do to it. It's a used truck, but pretty much everything in it works. The 2001 crane, this is not on the report because I just talked to the shop today. Our 2001 crane truck is in the shop. It quit running on Sean. Well, it couldn't get it over 40 miles an hour. And they've had for 2 weeks in town. I talked to the mechanic, and the problem is it's having injector issues, fuel injection issues. The fuel injections cause the truck sits out there quite a bit. Gas isn't the best with ethanol and different chemicals in it now. And those are the original injectors from 2001. So I told him instead of paying him hours to keep checking each one, I just ordered a new set. They're $225 each, so about $1,800 to tune it up. But it's the first time it's had anything done on it since we bought it brand new in 2001.
Who's doing the work?
S&R Auto Repair over there close to Tyson owns it over by Tillamook Ford.
Yeah, they do before.
So luckily we have a second crane truck. We have it in case anything else goes out.
That's why we voted for it.
And I touched on the queues thing a little earlier. Like I said, we have the new computer in. It's set up. They're building the software program now for GIS and everything that we ordered. We have paid for it, so that will come out of this year's budget. And they told Brian that it's about 45 days out before it's completed. Tag received the security cameras, and we're working on a schedule, but they think they'll have the security cameras, the new replacements up and going before June 30th. So the office equipment, I left that on there. Aaron has spoke with Solutions, yes. We think we can save up to $40 to $70 a month by just leasing one, buying it, because then in order to ever get rid of it, you have to do the surplus, like surplus it out because it is an asset of the district. By leasing it, you don't have to worry about purchases and laying out, $8,000 to $10,000. You just pay the lease, and there are some benefits to the lease. And that's all I have. Don't have any questions.
Next item on the agenda is old business. Do you have anything to add on the Avalon pump station project? We did talk about one thing a little bit, but
Yeah, so it is on schedule. Like I said, it's usually 2 to 3 year project. So once we get the conduit down, then they'll move into final design. And we'll have something then to give to the county for a building permit. And then we're gonna also have to, at the same time, have easements through other properties. We have spoke to some of the property owners. If we have an issue on the west side of those properties, if they want to charge us for an easement to put sewer to better their property. The properties on the east side, which are off of Hillsdale, they're willing to give us an easement just to get off of their injector pump. So we might have to, and the engineer said it's not a big deal to put a jog in the pipe and go up the other side, other than trying to go through the expense of condemnation or something.
okay, if there's no questions, just the workshop update, just keeping that on the old business agenda. And we do have scheduled for the board meeting in July 16th at 4 o'clock to further discuss items on the workshop agenda. Item C is the reading of ordinance 2601, an ordinance amending ordinance 78-1, adopting fats, oils, and grease removal for food service establishments. Uh, Can I have a motion to open the floor for any discussion of ordinance 2601?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All right. Any discussion, public comments, or any other thoughts?
So. Am I missing something in here? Because is there a schedule to go check them out?
What do you mean? Inspect them?
Yeah.
No, there's not a schedule for it. I believe in here, under the old 70-1, it's, the district, this allows the district to go in at any time and inspect.
How do you know if it's?
Well, generally, when we're inspecting a sewer line, if we see excessive grease coming out of the lateral, then we have cause to go in and inspect their grease trap and make them clean, just the way we do with Rosanna's when there's an issue with their grease trap.
So will their drainage slow down such that they're calling you up and saying, hey, it's not working? And basically saying that's your problem when actually it's their problem?
So with the ordinance, how I've enforced it in the past, I've had to do it at the upstairs. When they neglect their grease trap and it plugs up the lateral, they're responsible, and in here, they have to reimburse us or pay us for what it took to unplug the sewer line. So we unplugged their lateral for them, brought out as well as jet truck. We unplugged it and we had to clean the line and get the grease down to a pump station and cleaned out. And then we send them a bill for that, an invoice.
Yeah, so it's my recollection that this has happened numerous times with different outfits.
It hasn't happened a lot, but it has happened. We've just had one bad offender and then we've had one that's an occasional offender.
So there's no.
Jim, would you like to add, are you suggesting we add like an inspection period, like a yearly inspection on grease traps?
Oh, that's up to Dan. I don't know. But I just, and there's no toll or, I mean, say if they've haven't dealt with it, like 3 or 4 times in a row,
Well, we'll get notified too if the county health inspectors in there and they notice the grease traps, because they usually attracts flies and odors and stuff like that. Then they will call and notify you that you need to go check your sewer line too. It appears they haven't maintained their grease interceptors in quite a while. And we're called usually, it's going to plug up their lateral before it plugs up our main line. Not that they can't get a lot of grease in the main line in the interim, but usually they wind up telling on themselves.
I will
when they plug
back
up
Dan up on that Jamie in the county is insanely good at her job and is very thorough and lets us know in the same vein of things like if she notices something out of line with their hood system or fire extinguisher system, she'll call me like immediately.
Yeah, she calls me when she notices the grease traps or.
oh, okay, well, that's good.
If not, we'd spend a lot of time trying to schedule our staff to go start inspecting it, and then it runs into.
Aaron's not super busy though.
Huh?
Aaron's not super busy though.
Yeah. We can send her. Okay, so you get bored. So anyway, but it's already in here. We do have adequate tools that have worked. So I don't think we need to address that as that, make that annual or anything like that.
All right.
Like I said, we don't have that many offenders. So when you fine them $500 each time, they usually made a pretty good effort not to repeat that.
And that having a contractor come out to do it is in effect.
It's
In
the
fact-
fine plus the cost of the contract.
Yeah, okay. But there is a fine, you said?
Yeah.
And where's that in here?
I don't think it's in this one. I think it's in a. It might be in this one. I could get that for you at our next meeting if you want to find out what the fine schedule is. I know for a fact, if the illegal hookup, we fine it $500. And I think on this one, it actually might be whatever the cost of our equipment and any contractors we have to hire. So full cost goes to the restaurant owner.
Any other discussion? Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we now have a motion to approve ordinance 2601.
Jim, are you okay with that?
No,
Yeah.
well, we kind of brought it to the table to discuss.
I'll make the motion.
That was prior to approval of it, because this was the second reading. So in my mind, we kind of brought it up for discussion as a motion.
Okay,
It's two readings.
Yeah.
First one, and then you
This-
adopt on the second one.
Yeah. Oh, this was the second reading.
Yeah, so now is when you approve it.
Okay.
no, but you wanted a motion, so
Well,
I have a motion.
John, I'll
made
have
for
a
them
motion
to
for.
Oh, I see, I see.
read
I
it,
see.
and then a motion to approve.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
So,
Second.
right. Okay. So is there any further discussion? If there is none, all in favor of accepting and approving ordinance 2601, say aye.
All right,
Aye.
Aye.
I got it.
You're okay,
Yeah.
okay. So the next item was board duties and responsibilities policy manual, which,
We've gotten before.
excuse me,
We've got last month.
Yes, didn't put them in the packets again.
yes,
I asked for extra time because I'd only seen it, gotten it a couple of days before the last board meeting, and I did have a chance to look at it, and I think it looks great. I was curious, is the source of this a template from something that the STAO provides? Or was this all out of your brain, John, or what?
let's, why don't we just make a motion to approve the board duties and responsibilities policy manual.
I move that we approve the board duty and responsibility policy manual.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Okay,
you,
John, I have suggested revisions, and I don't know that they're going to be in order if you're already on a motion to approve.
well, then we,
This was written by our legal counsel.
no, well, it was originally written by SDAO, I believe. This is
Did you
their,
run this through legal?
no, it hasn't been through legal.
That's the procedure.
Jerry, couldn't your discussion, or couldn't that be part of discussion and then we could revise the motion?
Maybe I could make a friendly amendment, motion for a friendly amendment, just everybody agrees to it.
Okay, so it's open for any discussion or suggestions or amendments or anything else. I mean, we don't have to be in the position to approve this evening. But we're going down the road to eventually approving some sort of a policy manual for the board.
Cable Houston, April 13th,
What is that?
for grease or.
No,
No,
we're
no,
on something
we're on-
different.
We're on
We're
the
on
board
the-
duties.
Sorry,
You're fine.
I'm still here.
So Jerry, can we hear your
Hey,
suggestions?
Yeah, and it's mainly, if no one else
Jerry has the table.
sees, Okay, if nobody else sees this as an issue, then I'm willing to completely drop it. But if you look at page 5 under vacancies, near the end,
There.
as I understand it, the board appoints a replacement for someone who leaves office early. And then they don't serve the completion of that term. They just serve until the next election that's available to put them on permanently, or do they serve at the end of the term?
That's a good question, and I don't know the exact answer to it. It seemed like they just served till the next election, but
I think that's what we've done, but
that also puts us out of sequence as far as when board members are replaced.
When
okay,
I,
so now you see my problem.
when I came on in the middle of the term, I had 2 elections that were 2 years apart.
You run for a 2-year election, and then once that's over, then you run for the 4-year.
Right.
So both
So-
you and Jeff, right? You did a 2-year with us because. you
So
came on.
I was appointed, and then in the next election, I ran for 2 years.
I just don't remember if you finished out. I don't think you finished out the person's. I think you ran, I don't remember. Look,
I think he did run through the next election.
but he didn't, so
Right.
say there's 2 years left, he didn't finish,
He was appointed and then he had to run till that one was done and then.
do his 2 years.
So Jerry,
And
what's
so-
the policy say?
Well, the draft policy says the appointed replacement shall serve until the next regular election of board members, and there is no regular board members. I think that it meant to say until the next regular election, next regular election that occurs after they're appointed. And a regular election is either a primary election or a general election. I think regular election has a meaning in law as either a May or a November election. So I was just going to say, just end this statement after the word next regular election, and then it would make sense. And I think conform with what we're doing.
So, Mr. Chair, then we amend the motion to correct the wording.
Yeah, I would ask for a friendly amendment, which just takes unanimous support to get rid of the words of board members in the second to last sentence of 2.4.
So
And if
take,
there's,
so take out of board members
yes, that would just end the sentence.
and just so right at elections, let's do the period there.
Yes.
Okay,
So Jerry, how do we phrase that? Do we make a motion or?
I just did. I
Okay.
asked for a friendly amendment. A friendly amendment takes unanimous consent of
I
the
will
board.
second.
And if,
I will second the friendly amendment.
Which, so that, when you say the next regular election, would that be a November election?
or May one, I believe the word regular election is a term of art in state law. It just refers to either a primary or a general election. It's something other than a special election.
Right.
And say appointee's term, when that term ends, right? Then it has to go up for election, re-election.
No, I don't. Okay,
I
if that's
thought-
what then that's not what it would say, no. This says basically, once you're appointed, then you run for election at the next May or November election. You don't wait till the end of the term. If you want to say you wait till the end of the term, then we need to reword this.
But in practice, we haven't been waiting for the end of the term. We've been waiting for the next May election, I think.
Right.
we did with you.
That's right.
Yeah,
But
Which is the odd-
it shouldn't cause if it's May or November, wherever comes first. It won't
Yeah,
really.
I think that was the intent. I think it's what STAO meant when they used that term. I mean, it's a known term.
To go back and look.
Well, past history here, usually they would fill in the remaining term of the board that member that resigned or whatever.
No,
And moved, and then they would fill out that term, and then they would have to run for election for that seat.
Okay.
It could have been,
That's how, I don't know if
it
that's
could have
legal.
been if that's when they ended too. I mean, it could have been the timing.
Right,
I don't
right,
know.
it's been a coincidence.
Look,
I just think this will make it easier to correct than rewriting, because this way it's either November or May, and it really doesn't, whichever one pops up, we just have them run.
Okay, what else, Jerry?
The only thing was, I guess, kind of a personal question, item 9.2. Well, I'm gonna go look at 2.5 real quick. I'm just gonna note it and have everybody just note it for whatever interest it is, but if somebody other than the president appears before an official body to talk about a position or policy of the district, this rule says they are required to support it. And I think probably it's more exact to say they are required to express support for it. I think the vice president could still show up to represent the board, even though they didn't support it when it was decided, maybe even if they voted against it, as long as they express support for it when it's going to the next body, then that's all that this requires. Do you see what I'm saying, John? We can't get into their minds. We can't force support, but we can force them to express support. So I'm just going to leave that there because I think it might be nitpicking.
Okay,
If it ever comes up, then we'll figure it out. 9.2, what does the term board training mean in this sentence?
I was wondering, also under 9.2, the first sentence, the NOSD strategic plan. What is that?
I don't have any of that in front of me,
No, I mean,
so I can't.
the strategic plan from the point of view of having curricula for the board members included in the strategic plan. I was kind of fuzzy on what that was talking about in regard to us.
I would just say as approved by the board.
Yeah,
And we just delegate it to Dan, because so far we've just been doing whatever they offer. We watch it, right?
right.
So I would just say as recommended by the board.
So Jerry, does that that calls for another friendly amendment?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And I would just change the word NOSD strategic plan in 9.2 to as approved by the board, period.
Okay.
And then I would also, in that same motion, I would like to, under A, attend an SDAO board training once per year. I'm not sure what that means. I think in practice, it means someone can watch remotely or show up in person to a seminar or subject matter topic on which the SDAO gives, offers a video or something. But I think the word board training, if you just don't capitalize board training and then just put word session or seminar, something after that. Otherwise, this reads to me that everybody on the board has to go to an STO conference once a year, and that's not what we do. So that was my concern. Is that not a good concern? If nobody else understands it that way, then I'll back off, no problem. We don't want to be in violation of our own rule down the road. There was ever any kind of legal situation and we hadn't complied with our own language and our rule, that could raise issues. So we just want to make sure that language is language we mean and actually do.
And I also have some very small typos, like page 19, item 3, Netarts is spelled wrong. Minor things, but nevertheless, they should be correct.
Okay, at this point, I think we're probably beyond friendly amendments, and maybe we want to just go ahead and put this off another month and bring it up for discussion in 30 days, and we'll get all this stuff taken care of.
I would agree. Therefore, I'd like to table this endeavor to approve the policy manual and bring it back up next month and provide copies to the board. Once we have it cleaned up with Sherry's inputs and any other changes that may be applicable.
I'll
Sure.
apologize for not having done this last month.
Jerry, for official stuff, do you need to withdraw your motion or not?
I will withdraw my friendly motion.
Okay, so we'll table any further action. Is that the consensus of the board?
Yes.
General consensus, aye.
I don't know that in tabling it needs to be a motion to table
No, I
it.
think it's general.
No,
consensus.
that's the president's prerogative.
Just
Yeah.
tabling it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on, new business, district Facebook page.
So this one I am still working on. I'm still gathering information. Because it is the separate third-party platform, we still have to be ADA compliant with it. And, I'm still working on how to do that.
I thought Streamline was going to.
No, because it is a separate third party, I can add the link to it, but I can't, they don't monitor it, they don't do anything. John had me call PUD. PUD pays another corporation to help them with their Facebook page. So I don't have that, but they also use it for other resources too, not just Facebook.
What does NRFD do? What is the fire department?
So
To
when,
the ADA.
well, two things about Facebook. When I took over, I found that Facebook is tied, any business account is tied to a personal account. So I took over from Chief Carpenter's personal account and it is attached to my personal account.
Right.
And there are some tools in Facebook when you set up the business account that you can add things like
Your alt text.
right, exactly. So we used the Facebook tools that were within it to make it ADA compliant. If you talk to the police departments, they are a lot more strict, like City of Tillamook PD, because they have a lot of records information and it has to comply with records laws. But we use ours more just for social media and public outreach. So we haven't.
You believe that you do meet the law by making it ADA compliant?
According to Facebook, according to the chat bot I was talking to on Facebook, yes.
Do we need to go through legal counsel to get, does it have to be done by resolution? Does it have to be done by ordinance? Or do you have to do any of that to do a social media? This is all new to me, so that's why I'm asking, what did you guys have to go through?
We basically, the only thing we didn't do was and I can't remember the name of the company that Chief Troxel uses, but they went to an extreme on their security of public records and things like that. And it was very expensive, like very expensive.
That's what I'm getting to.
So we took the route of just going by best practices with Facebook or Meta. And we go by all their regulations, and according to our legal team, that was as good as we needed to do.
So you did consult with your legal team?
I just kind of,
I think we need to.
Yeah.
because
Not that I don't trust Meta or Facebook to, keep everything legal in all 50 states. I'm sure they do a good job of it. I would rather get the blessing of our legal.
Yeah.
If we have to do anything. We're probably, I don't envision it putting anything really on there other than what public announcements. What's the board's vision of the social media?
Yeah, my vision of it is like when we had a pump failure, to be able to say, here's what happened.
Yeah.
Here's what we're doing.
No.
Rather
Almost
than
any one
having,
of,
rather than having,
almost any one of those events can give rise to a legal action, and the lawyers will scream about admissions on social media. That's a very bad idea from my perspective.
so Jerry, from what I was hoping is that we could prevent false information from taking off by putting out correct information.
There are ways for us to do that, that don't have all of the baggage of social media or of Facebook. We have ways to communicate with the public. We can post things on our website. We can direct people to the website, but I think social media goes into a whole other level of complication, public avenues for causing expense and misunderstanding. I haven't objected going to Facebook route so far because I wanted to hear what we were talking about. But if it involves any kind of regular information that we might be held accountable for legally or any significant expense, I honestly don't see the marginal benefit over our current avenues for communication with the public.
I guess my feeling was that the reality of the way public gets information now is that they don't look at a website before they run out and start saying all kinds of things. So that given that our public is largely on social media, it seemed to me that's where they look to get information. So they would say, okay, you know, what do they have to say? They look on social media because that's what they think everything is. That's what they think the world is.
Well, we had the incident at the Netarts pump station a couple of years ago. It blew through Facebook, and I was fielding calls, some of the most atrocious misinformation on that incident that I've ever seen. But I don't think that, I kind of agree with Jerry. I think that if you start to get into that, a lot of now I guess you can put stuff on Facebook and not allow comment.
That is what I understand most most utilities.
But I do know that the city of Tillamook does both. There's some things they list that they put on Facebook, they allow comments. And there are some subjects they do not allow comments. But even the comments, what I read, like even the rate increases, everybody on there doesn't understand. And so you get all kinds of misinformation that grows. I mean, almost every story grows to even more misinformation.
So I would be interested in talking to the legal counsel and saying to them, do you have recommendations for a utility that's considering having a Facebook page or being on social media?
We need to know what the risk is.
What do you, because we can't be the first organization who's gone to a lawyer and asked that question. It seems like they would have a sort of canned response that says, here's the pros, here's the not, here's how you manage it.
Well, Jerry brought up everything that I worried about going on social media. Because I see how it takes off like wildfire. Even if
and I'd also suggest that having our own statement out there on social media will not prevent people who are determined to have their own view from posting on their Facebook page or on the Oceanside Neighbors page, which is completely unregulated and, as far as I'm concerned, unethical. And you don't prevent anything except you provide a more of a spark for disagreement and criticism and controversy. If we need to put out a public statement about something, we put out a public statement. We give it to the media. If we want to get certain additional exposure, we always have the opportunity to put it on one of the Oceanside Facebook pages ourselves. So, and I don't think having our own official source of information does us any good. I don't think it will have any benefit for us. It will only have downside. And that's just based on my experience of watching it and being involved with it with other public organizations.
In what you just said, you were proposing that it would be somebody on staff who had as part of their job description that they would essentially be monitoring local Oceanside Facebook and then perhaps posting on the Oceanside for everyone or whatever it's called.
No, I think it
And-
would come to the board's attention. That's what a public board is for. We'd all hear about it. We'd see it. I don't want to make it part of anybody's job description. It'd be the board's job description. How do we hear about it now? We already do this. We're already a public body. We already have things of public interest. You know, we have something that we do when something comes up that needs to be addressed. And if we need to refine that, let's do it. But I'm at this point not persuaded that Facebook is a tool in that arsenal. And that's, I don't want to repeat myself. So that's all I have to say about it.
So
Jim?
when we had the spill, when didn't we have hoops that we needed to go through that were mandated by SDAO or
No,
ODF,
No, state.
ODF and W?
Well, it's called OER, Oregon Emergency Response. We're mandated by DEQ and EPA that we have to report that to OER. That's it. The other stuff that our local DEQ rep added on to us is not exactly what's required by DEQ. He just, our compliance officer, added it on for whatever, well, I know the
When
reason.
you say it, what's it?
He made us add in and required us to, if there's a spill, we're to call the oyster farmers, we're to call the salt place out here, Jacob Salt, we're to, notify everybody along the bay.
Right.
And he even included anybody along the bay that's outside the sewer district. So just kept piling on.
Uh-huh.
And legal counsel advises us not to call certain businesses because of the possibility of a confrontation or something being said that they don't want said, because they're already angry.
I think that, if I can chime in, the difference for us is we're basically using Facebook for the fire district to get donations or volunteers or support for a volunteer event. So I think for the utilities, I'm not sure that it's geared the same.
So I did notice something, Jerry, today, Port of Tillamook Bay put out a statement that they're not going to repair Hangar B. But the only reason I bring that up is that is set to where you can't comment and you can't forward. So otherwise, if you read it, you can't forward it. I couldn't forward it to Aaron or to you or anybody else.
Interesting.
So and so I think we need to do a little more research on Facebook before we even delve into that. And I really think we need to go through legal counsel because I know other cities and districts, they've dealt with other ones that do this. It is becoming more popular, but this is the first time I've seen that you can't share something from a public entity on Facebook to somebody else. You can't even copy and paste it. So,
People screenshot it and then they'll
Yeah.
post on all the
gonna say that.
community threads. So like, there's no way to,
Actually stop
So
that.
just screenshot it on your cell phone.
I tried to screenshot it. And it took out the pictures that it messed up the text. So I don't know what it is. So either I did something wrong, but anyway, I think that we need to dig into this a little bit deeper, but I still would advise the board that we go to legal counsel and get their opinion. Because I think they're gonna kind of side with Jerry that don't put yourself out there.
Well, and how often are we gonna be posting something? Like, what is it that you want us to be putting on there?
Well, he said,
Well, I
if we
know,
have an incident,
right, but other
put
than
out the
that,
right information.
other than that, we
And
don't do anything.
other thing I would have said that we'd put on there would be an announcement that says, for example, we're not raising our rates this year. Since we're not putting out a letter, it's a way to tell people, hey, your sewer bills are staying the same.
I'm totally in favor of a press release on that. You know, it gets picked up by the Headline Herald, it's picked up by the other, social media. That statement is fine. Here's the scenario I'm concerned about. Something, I mean, you're talking about it being used to put out our side of the story early on about an incident about which there could be controversy. And it does turn out to be something where someone feels like they have the basis for some kind of a claim for damages or an attack on our legal procedures. We didn't do something right. And something we're represented by counsel. And then it turns out what we originally put out actually admits something we didn't intend to admit, or it has a factual error that was, reasonable at the time, but turns out not to be right. And you're put on the stand, Dan, about this incident, and you tell your story about how it happened. And now your story is different than what we put on Facebook because you got more information now. But the lawyer pulls out the original Facebook page thing and he reads it to you and he says, were you lying then or are you lying now? And that's the way these things work in lawsuits. You open the door, and that's why our insurance counsel, the first thing they would say is, do not talk to anybody about this. We want to control the story with an eye towards what the liability is and what's going to come out in court. And again, I don't see the benefits of Facebook adding up to something that's worth that kind of exposure.
So bottom line, is it the consensus of the board that we talk to legal, or that we just drop the whole matter?
I would like to talk to legal just to see what they have to say.
Yeah, I'm happy for a second opinion, for sure.
If legal
Okay.
sees it the way Jerry does, I'm happy to not pursue this.
Okay. You good with that, Jim?
I'm good with that.
We got a head shake from
Yep.
the fire department. So basically, it's the board's opinion that you talk to legal and get some sort of vibrations or feelings or whatever they're thinking is on this sort of thing for an organization like ours.
Risk, what's the risk of this?
Yeah.
So,
And what would the policies look like if we were to pursue it? Because I would suspect that legal has some opinions about comments, no comments, how you do that.
Well, you remember the opening session at SBA and
News reporter.
yeah, he pretty much
He
just
twisted
echoed,
everything.
well, yeah, and how easy it was to twist it, which goes right back to what Jerry's been saying.
Right.
Are you lying now or were you lying then? Because it can't be twisted.
I do have a question about it. If you have to link it, like Jeff was telling us, to a personal account, how do we do that? You have to use a personal account in order to start a
No, I
business account.
understand that. Somebody that works for the district would have to do a personal account, which I have reservations about that myself.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I don't even have Facebook anymore, so.
Yeah, so you're a good candidate to be the lamb, but yeah, I think it's just. I don't think we need to advertise. But I would like to get legal opinion. I think legal's gonna go on pretty much the same way what Jerry was saying. I want to know what the risks are.
And so
Because
I
you
think-
need a designated person to post the stuff. And I think the posting, no, but there has to be somebody that approves what is going to be posted.
I think a lot of times in the emergencies, I've been with both water districts when they've had to go to a boil order. And it seems to create much more confusion and chaos because of Facebook interaction than just putting two people on the phone lines and answering questions individually as they come in. I don't think they're going to necessarily, if they go to search for our Facebook, it's not there. They're going to find a phone number, and it's either going to be call or call. I think when they call, then it's one person and they talk to them, they say, well, we're going to a boil, or we have an interruption in sewer service. And that's the information that they're given, kind of have that script. Because I think watching the water districts, they've had a really hard time warnings. Because then it's this whole thing of like how long and what was in the water and why they can contaminate it. And then somebody jumps in from China or something probably and says, you know, I heard that Brian infected it with salmonella from his chickens, you know, and then it's just like, it just goes, because somebody's trying to get stuff viral. And
And the only way I can handle it is give the technical side. Jerry's read my technical side before and pointed out, you know, possible liabilities, which I didn't even think about, you know. And maybe there was a different way to get the facts out without creating more liability, so. You can thank Jerry for scaring me to write things down. So.
it's a good
Okay.
attorney right there.
If there's nothing else, then Dan will talk to our legal counsel and get some sort of a opinion on what their thinking is. SDAO board member vacancy.
It was addressed to the board, so.
You put it in
I
there.
put it in there.
I nominated Dan earlier.
Board
It's
vacancy.
your job to keep me
All right.
away.
No executive session. Adjournment at 6:46.
And shutting off recording.
All right, so,
Bye, Jerry.
Aloha.
uh,
You still got time to walk on the beach.